This program is brought to you by Clear Productions Entertainment Group Corporation.
Yeah, boy! Woo! I'll do it better than that, chump. Lee Ice. It's the big dog. You know, you're not gonna see me, and I'm not showing my face. But I got my man Jack Carr, the finest dude in PG County. How you feeling, Mr. Carr?
Good, big dog.
Okay, I got the Mr. Benoit BC Midnight Rider, whatever you want to call him. Ben BC. How you feeling, sir?
What's going on, baby? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. You know, Lee Ice is on vacation. He's doing his thing. He's relaxing. He's well-deserved and everything. I'd like to thank everybody else for tuning in for last week's show and this week's show. So, without further ado, let's get into everything. Are y'all ready to give an all-in shot toast?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, you ready to go all in? All right.
All in.
So, Lee Ice always says, I'm the best to ever do it, the best ever was, and the best to do it now. So I want you to do one thing. Acknowledge me. Let's get to it. All right. Let's get to it. The Aces star Wilson lands a signature shoe with Nike. How you feel?
Good job, man. I mean, the WNBA is coming up, so we good with it.
Kentucky Derby winner Miscus Dan in Preakness. How you feel?
Hopefully they can get the Triple Crown because they need one.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
UFL showdown today. The St. Louis Battlehawks take on the Birmingham Stallions at 4 o'clock on Fox. How you feel?
That's going to be a good game. They're the best two teams, and I think that's going to be their Super Bowl or whatever their version of the Super Bowl is.
All right. Pat Riley has some interesting words to say about Jimmy Butler today. Basically told him, if you're not participating, shut up. How you feel?
That's what you need to say. I mean, it's facts.
Yeah.
If you ain't going to be around for the showdown, then don't be around for after parties.
Clippers hope to keep Paul George with Kawhi and Harden. What you think?
I'm still waiting for the takeover.
What takeover?
They were supposed to take over 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Caleb Williamson, number one quarterback for Chicago Bears, QB1. No disputing that. How you feel?
Chicago about to take off.
It's his show.
Word it is on the street, Drake had a little influence on this, and it wasn't because of King Lamar, but the Toronto expansion team in the WNBA may happen. How you feel?
I mean, they got to get Toronto, Golden State, and then I think the league is going to expand. And I think this is what the league should do. Take advantage of the opportunity.
The NFL schedule release show is this Thursday, but I got some of the things right here, Ben BC and Jack. San Pedro, Brazil. The Green Bay Packers will invade. The Cheesehead will take on Fly, Eagles, Fly on September 6th, Friday night. First Friday night game in 3 decades in the NFL. How you feel?
I don't know if you Adam Schefter or not, but let's make it ride, baby.
London game, Minnesota Vikings. Another London game, Chicago Bears. Another London game, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they signed a 6-year deal over there. And the Munich game, the Carolina Panthers.
I think the best thing the league did was giving these teams the opportunity to go ahead and operate in these foreign countries and take advantage of the marketing in those places.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to showcase the finest athletes in the NFL internationally. I was happy when we started doing that. Yep, I like it.
Charles Oakley says no to invitation from Dolan. I want an apology before I get an invitation. How you feel?
That's Oak.
Yep.
Former MLB infielder and Little League World Series star Sean Brunson dies at the age of 43. How you feel?
That's sad.
Yeah, bad news.
You think so? That's sad? Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Too young.
Okay. News from the professional wrestling world. Hey, that's right, professional wrestling world. There's going to be a new faction coming to the WWE real soon. Stay tuned.
So it's not gonna be the bloodline. It's gonna be something more than the bloodline.
Yes.
Oh, I love it already.
Yes. All right. I can't say Lee Ice taking a commercial break, but we're going to commercial break. We'll be right back with some interesting topics coming up. This is your all-in sports State of the Union coronavirus style with Jack Carr and BC. We'll be right back.
Don't need women. Women need men. Men could survive without women. If all the women disappeared tomorrow, men would be fine outside of reproduction. If tomorrow they made artificial wombs, what would they need a woman for? Who's a better companion, men or women? So men built the world. All the hard jobs are done by men. If men disappeared tomorrow, society would collapse. Men built the world that we complain about.
Arguably, one of the driving forces for men doing what they do is women.
What I'm saying is men could survive without women. Because men can be alone, women can't. Women are social beings, and men don't. You don't see women going out to the woods and just running. That's a man thing.
We're back. I'm used to saying back. We're back, Lee Ice. That's in honor of Mother's Day. I know some women probably watch the show gonna get mad because I play that, but I don't. Can't say that word right now, but you know what I'm saying. But Jack Carr, BC, we're back live and in color. So a lot of things are happening in sports. What's the first discussion y'all want to get into?
So let's take it to MLB because we're on the cusp, or we're dealing with basketball having a new influence from an athletic standpoint and guys taking over. And I think we're ushering out the old and bringing in the new. So let's go ahead and do that conversation in a different version, and let's do it from the perspective of baseball. Because right now, baseball is going through a transition, whether we like it or not. And I know Lee Ice doesn't like new things, but since Lee Ice isn't here, let's talk about some new things. Let's talk about these new players that are at the major league level, and then let's talk about some guys that are coming up to the major leagues, and they're going to be the future of the sport. So Jack Carr, my guy, PG County's finest, as Lee Ice calls you. Let's talk about some of these guys that are right now in the MLB that are at the level, but they're young, and maybe some of our fans don't know who these guys are. Let's hip our fans to the new guys coming up.
All right. It's true. One of the new guys I really like following is over there with the Cubbies. You got Michael Bush, first baseman for the Cubs. That boy's hot right now. He had 5 homers in 5 straight games. I don't know what they got, 25 games maybe under the belt. He got 17 RBIs. I like what Michael Bush is doing, and I think he's definitely a young up-and-comer.
My God, you always like to give me stuff that I'm not thinking about, because the guy I had in mind that's in the majors right now is C.J. Abrams. C.J. Abrams is killing it for the Nationals right now. He's actually showing that he is a valuable piece, and he's part of the rebuild. So let me get your next guy.
Well, you go with Abrams. I like Abrams over there in Washington. About all they got, in my opinion. You also got Witt Jr. over there with
KC.
Kansas City. And I believe I said something on the previous show with the Junkies. He's MVP caliber type player now. He's really playing good ball. I think he's a young up-and-coming future baseball.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't know who he is, find out who he is, people, because he is one of the best things going on today. And I think our next guy is easily Ellie De La Cruz, the kid out of Cincinnati. He's another kid that is tearing the cover off the baseball, if you want to say it that way. I think he has something like 8 home runs, 26 stolen bases. This new league is changing. These guys are stealing bases at a clip that we've never seen. We're actually getting back to the days of guys like Vince Coleman, Ricky Henderson, those type of guys, because I think we're going to get to a spot where we're going to get 90, 100 stolen bases in the season. Go ahead, Jack.
You think we're going to get 100 stolen bases again? I haven't seen much more than plus 50 in years past.
Yeah, but we got guys right now at like 12, 16 stolen bases. And, with the pitch clock determines how much you can be aggressive. Because you only get 2 throwovers.
Yeah. 2
throwovers. Sorry for that. But so if after the second throwover, it's free game.
Mm-hmm. I got you there. And De La Cruz over there in Cincy, I like him too. I just don't get it. The boy looked like he weighs 185 pounds, and he's got power. It's been quick wrists, man. That boy can hit the ball at all fields. He's nice. I like De La Cruz.
Hey, Jack, since we're talking about guys up and coming, even though he's not really up and coming, but is a guy that you said has arrived, you know who I'm talking about. He plays in Atlanta. Tell us a little bit about your boy Ronald Acuna Jr.
The best hitter in baseball, period. They need more pitching over there, I think. But yeah, you look at Acuna's numbers; they've been amazing. And he's not in the MVP conversation as much as I think he should be, due to power numbers, I think. But you look at him for batting average and just baseball IQ. Acuna's nice. One of my favorite players.
And since we're in that under 26 area or under 27 area, I'm gonna tell you about the guy that I love, and that's Juan Soto. Soto is killing the ball in New York. I hate the fact that he wears pinstripes, but I got to deal with it. But Soto's been on fire this season so far, and he's knocking it out of the park. Jack, you got anybody else for me in terms of major league talent?
Oh, I got 3. Two of them I'm gonna call them. They're gonna go into the category of my guy.
Okay.
I mentioned these guys in our baseball preview, I believe. There was that young boy that came to the Dodgers after Ohtani signed. We had Yamamoto.
Yes, sir. The pitcher. No, exactly.
The season started, I knew he was coming. He's having trouble getting some distance in his starts. He hasn't gone past 6 yet. But his ERA is a little high, giving up some home runs. But look for that boy. He's going to be a solid pitcher in this league. And the other pitcher is another one I mentioned. And like I say, this is my guy, is Mason Miller over with the A's.
Oh,
The other night, he just owns the ninth inning. He does not play around. He's throwing low 100s, high 90s, and he can locate it too. You know what I mean? Kind of like Chapman used to do it. A lot of guys can throw hard, but can they hit them corners? Can they paint the plate? You know what I'm saying? And I like Mason Miller a lot in Oakland. And then my last one will be Jackson Merrill for San Diego Padres.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Third youngest ball player in the league. I believe he's only 20 years old.
He is.
He's playing center field, and he's never played center field in the pros before. And he's coming in with a 356 batting average in a pitcher's park, you know? So Jackson Merrill, that's a guy to keep your eye on, everybody.
You know, the beauty, I guarantee you, Jackson Merrill is a guy that played shortstop at some point in time. And they always say shortstops make the best athletes in baseball. Correct. So, Jack, now that we talked about guys that are established.
I interrupt y'all fellas, but we got to go to commercial break, play some bills. I know y'all going at it. We'll be right back on All In Sports.
One who will not even consider giving his life for you. That's a friend. Everybody you name are with me for money and for what they can get. I don't have no friends. I wrote a poem that says, friendship is a priceless gift that cannot be bought nor sold, but its value is far greater than a mountain made of gold. For gold is cold and lifeless. It can neither see nor hear, and in time of trouble it is powerless to cheer. Gold, it has no ears to listen, no heart to understand. It cannot not bring you comfort or reach out a helping hand. So when you ask God for a gift, be thankful if he sends, not diamonds, pearls, or riches, but the love of real, true friends. These friends are very rare.
BC Jack, that's the greatest of all times.
That sounds like Muhammad Ali. Yes, sir.
Back to you two and your discussion.
All right, so we're about to talk about players that have their careers derailed by either injury, by life, and by circumstances. Jack, since we was talking about it, let's go ahead and get started. Who's the guy that you talked about? Because we talked about this earlier in some pre-show conversations. Who's your guy?
And this guy, I'm not saying this guy would be a Hall of Famer or, you know, anything like that. It's just he was, how should you say, really contributing to his team when his problem started. And he's really in a pickle now. He's not doing well in life. His name is PG County guy, Delonte West. He played ball at Eleanor Roosevelt, went on to St. Joe's, and then became the 24th draft pick of the Boston Celtics in 2. So, you know, the thing with Delonte, you gotta look at it, you know, money got him all screwed up. You know, he was blowing money, making unnecessary expenses. Then he went through a messy divorce. He had bad representation with agents. And money just disappeared. And then his mental health started kicking in. He got diagnosed with bipolar. I got some friends that have that, and it's very powerful thing that can take over your body. But He got into substance abuse, and then he was homeless on the corner with the cup. And Mark Cuban ran into him in Texas at a gas station. Cuban tried to get him into a facility. You know, he's been trying to get help from Boston. Danny Ainge has reached out to him. I just feel for the guy because, you know, I followed him coming up from high school to college to the pros. And like I said, he was gelling there around his third, fourth season in the playoffs for Cleveland. He made a real nice run. So, you know, like I say, he's not a Hall of Famer or some superstar, but this gentleman was in a great place and got derailed by mental health issues and drug abuse.
So my guy, my number one is Brandon Roy. Kid from Portland, Trailblazers, fame. He was a small forward. He was probably one of the best defenders as a two guard or as a three. He should have been one of the people that helped Portland keep Kobe and the Lakers from getting their championships. But unfortunately for him, his knee just was at a degenerative state that he couldn't overcome it and ended his career way too soon. Because this guy should have been a 12-year, 15-year basketball player and should have been somebody we talk about every day, all day in this sport. Jack, who else do you got on your list?
Can I get one?
Yeah, sure.
Joe Gillum.
Ooh, Jersey Joe.
Joe Gillum. Unfortunately, he's passed away now, but would he have been Terry Bradshaw instead of Terry Bradshaw?
That's a great quote. That's a great statement.
Yeah.
Go back to you.
I also have Josh Hamilton. Last played, I believe, was Cincinnati.
My man Jack. Jack, hold on.
Hammer. That man, he could hit the ball. He had alcohol and drug abuse problems as well. Took a couple years off, came back, and was up in the top leaders for home runs when he returned to Cincinnati. And I like Josh Hamilton. What's up?
Josh Hamilton has the greatest story ever. The kid, he came into the league. His issue was he loved Crown Royal. I love Crown Royal a little too much. He got into drugs, and then he had the great pivot to come back and actually play in the majors. He was great in Cincinnati. He tore it up in Texas, and that's when he won the home run contest. Jack, I'm sorry, you won this hands down. I don't even know if I can name anybody else that's better than Josh Hamilton, because Josh Hamilton was one of my guys. But I'm gonna try to see if I can pivot and give you somebody else. And I'm gonna go with the late great Reggie Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Reggie Lewis from the Boston Celtics was at a point where I think Larry could have. I know everybody talks about Len Bias, and we talk about Len to the end of the time, but I think Reggie Lewis was doing enough that he could have minimized the passing of Len Bias if he had played or he was able to see his full potential in life. And I don't know how else to say it besides that. And I don't know how to do it justice because the man passed away from a heart attack. But he's one of those guys that when it came to being a small forward, I thought he averaged about 20 points a game at a certain point. And I thought he could have taken the load off of Larry, and Larry could have dealt with his back issues, and the Celtics would have been okay, but they still would have lost to the Lakers in 6 in any playoff series they played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And jumping over to football, and this one here, it's not an injury or drug abuse or alcohol abuse. It's actually politics to put this man out of the game, in my opinion. And that's Colin Kaepernick. Cap was on top of his game, in my opinion. What, he hit a Super Bowl in his first 2 years? He made it to the Super Bowl? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
He had an arm, just, and I don't like getting into politics when I'm talking sports because it just don't mix, in my opinion. But that's what ruined Colin Kaepernick's career. politics.
Totally agree.
Hey, can I get, fellas, let me get one in before we go. We only got like 50 seconds.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, do you think?
Thomas Hollywood Henderson. Will we be talking about Lawrence Taylor if Thomas Hollywood Henderson could stay off that cocaine?
Yeah.
Hey, Rick James told us that's a powerful drug.
Yup.
Yeah,
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's another edition of All In Sports. BC and Jack Carr substituting in with Lee Ice, the big dog, doing your color commentating, I guess you call it. You know, thanks, gentlemen, for coming on. Thanks for the great topics. Well, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or you don't like it, learn to love it. Because we are the best thing going today. And I got one more thing to say. Acknowledge me. See you next week.